Hi there. Today I have a very simple warm-up for you for those days when it's like, I just don't know where to get started, or I want to do something, but I am out of ideas. Basically, all you do is choose one color. I chose black. Get a stack of papers or your art journal and just start making marks. I mean, simple marks, circles, lines, squares, simple, simple, simple. And one thing leads to another. As I'm showing you in the demo today, literally, I thought I would do like 10 pieces of paper, but I did every single piece of paper that I had set aside to show you. So that just goes to you know, it's hard to stop once you get started, because the idea of getting into motion really can prompt you to keep going and to keep on. And then of course now I'm like, oh, I really want to get in there and add some color, or maybe add some white or whatever, because I just used black and I used book paper and some other random papers. But anyway, I would just say on a day when it's hard to get started, just do this simple exercise, and I think you will find your creative juices start flowing. So anyway, without further ado, let's get started. I just grabbed a whole bunch of old book paper, and some is from educational books and different things, and this was like from a typewriter class. Then I also grabbed, and I'm mostly going to work, I want to work mostly on this book paper, but in case it's not really going the way I want, I also grabbed some sketching paper. This is a little bit heavier paper that has gesso on it. And then this is just some tracing paper that has nothing, no gesso or anything on it. And I could have grabbed deli paper, but I had this just handy and already in this size. So I'm not gonna work super large, but this is just a warm up, and I just wanna make some collage papers, but also just kind of get warmed up. And sometimes when I'm feeling like I have no ideas, just grabbing one color like black or whatever your favorite color is and making marks is a great way to get started. So I've decided I'm gonna use the carbon black, but I did grab the bone black, and the reason why, because the carbon black is very opaque, and the bone black is not as opaque, and you can find all that information usually on the back. It also shows, like, you can see through these little stripes. This is very dark, and this is, you can see it's a little bit more transparent. Anyway, I think I want the dark, but if I don't, I'll just mix in some of this bone black and make it a little less opaque. I also grabbed a bunch of different brush sizes, and I have a whole bunch more over here in a little bin. And then I grabbed some color shapers. I just really don't know what I'm gonna do, and I wanna use, like, get my body moving and get some swirls going. I just don't know, and create some shapes. And I may want to do a shape I like on multiple, like smaller and bigger and plain paper. So there'll probably be some repetition. So it's really more about, I'm just getting in the flow and getting the process going. So there's really not a lot of describing other than, the paint and the brushes and the paper that I'm using. So it's more about just giving you some freedom to begin your own, if you're having a hard time getting warmed up. And actually, we should all be warming up, doing some kind of short activity every time before we get into a painting or some kind of art process, only because it does help us get more in the flow, I think. Well, I say I think. I know it does. But sometimes I just need to jump in, and I don't give myself a few minutes to do this kind of activity. And this is really helpful. So this is what's going to help me today get going, and hopefully you will be inspired to do the same. So now I have a massive stack. This one is still wet, and so is this one. So I'm gonna set those aside. But I have a massive stack of really cool shapes, designs, patterns. I won't go through all of them because you actually did see me making them. There, I guess there's a few that are wet. So some are just really simple. As you can see, just like anybody can make the letter U, and squiggly lines my paintbrush was separating, so super cool. This is just different marks made from, and I mean, you can't get any simpler than this, really. So I would say definitely, and the more I did, the more I just wanted to keep going because this is so great. And I tried to think of different ideas, and I thought I was gonna stop at one point, but I was like, no, I'm gonna do every single piece of paper I pulled out. And they're fun on the white, of course, white and black. Oh, that one's really wet too, so maybe I'll set that one over there. It's just really great, but I also liked it on the tracing paper and on obviously the book paper. But yeah, you can do block letters. You can just do, blocks with your paintbrush, stripes, lines. I mean, it's endless what you can do. And then I started like, oh, I want to make a composition. And that's when I knew I was pretty much done at that point, because I was starting to kind of move on into wanting to be creative versus just putting some marks down. So anyway, I would highly recommend, this is a great activity. Choose your favorite color, a bunch of paintbrushes and a bunch of paper, different paper, and just get to it and see what you can make. And honestly, at the end of it, you're gonna have this awesome stack of collage paper, or if you do it in an art journal, you could do it that way too, and then you just have these patterns and shapes that you can refer to. So anyway, have fun. I hope this encourages you to get started, to warm up, to get moving, even on a day when you really aren't feeling it. Kind of like I was today, but this really got me going. So anyway, have fun, and thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.